Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2019, powered by Twitch and raising money in support of the Prevent Cancer Foundation. My name is Iggy Zig, and I'm here to welcome you to the AGDQ 2020 block of Doom. That's right, we're going to be carrying the carnage tonight with 3 fantastic FPS speedruns, kicking it off with KingDime, longtime friend of GDQ, doing a run of Doom SIGIL, and he is ready to go. So lock and load, brother. Rip and tear.
Hi, I'm KingDime. It's awesome to be back here again at GDQ doing another Doom run. So we've done all Doom IWADs so far with Doom 1, Doom 2, and Final Doom, but this one is Doom SIGIL. And this was a release in April of 2019 by the co-founder John Romero. So he made 2 maps in 2016, Tech Gone Bad and Phobos Mission Control, and he got great reception, and then he made an episode of maps for us, so that'll be the one that we do today. But before we get into it, there was a bid incentive for music, so was it the MIDIs by Jimmy or the MP3s by Buckethead?
All the James Paddock fans in the house better get your hands up. We're listening to Jimmy's MIDIs for this run.
Yeah. Fantastic. So Jimmy is a very prolific mapper in the Doom community who's done loads of fantastic things, and it's a great soundtrack too. But John Romero is also a self-proclaimed big fan of Buckethead. He calls him like a legendary guitarist aficionado. But yeah, before we get into it, just going to do a quick couch introduction. So let's start over here.
Hi, I'm Mythical9, and I'm psyched to be here.
Matty Ice 3131. Probably seen me on a few Dime's rooms before.
Alrighty, so we'll get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Doom!
All right, we got a hot start here. You can see there are these evil eyes which have been sort of repurposed in SIGIL. The game sort of teaches you that these need to be shot in order to open the way. Dime got down to 7 health and actually starts off slipping off a ledge here. So we're just going to go ahead and restart that one. That's good. Fine. We can take a better look at this room that you start in, actually. It's got this really sick star pattern made out of blood on the floor. Very, very Romero. Moving through some of these little decorations is maybe a macabre way of putting it, but it's a sort of a secret path here, but weaving through them is a little difficult because they all have these kind of square hitboxes that stick out. This Lost Soul is in our way here. We need to get up on top of this platform, and we're saving here because we're doing something a little tricky. We need to land a shot on the SIGIL and then get onto the bridge as it rises. Nicely done.
And you can just see how much, like, even compared to like normal Doom 1, this is clearly very difficult. I mean, he dropped to 7% health right at the beginning of the run.
Yeah, on the first stage. We're on to the second stage now. We're doing sort of a pacifist strat. I mean, he did just telefrag someone, I think, but we're trying not to shoot because we don't want to alarm an imp that is down here. We're taking a sort of secret teleporter that puts you in an advantageous position for this encounter, but we're not going to fight him. We're out of here. He's got way too much health for us to take down with a shotgun. We take another teleporter over to the Mega Armor. That's super important. Health and resources is very low all throughout SIGIL. We come to the end of the map. Again, pacifist, we don't want to shoot that guy. He's going to wake up monsters that teleport in. Right at the end here, as it's too late to stop us, we get to the exit, and that's map 2.
Yeah, and anyone who's actually played Sigil knows there's actually a Cyber Demon in that map. Dime doesn't want to deal with that, so we just kind of avoid him.
Yeah, teleport right around it. Map 3 starts with a new trick. Not a new, well, a newish trick. Doom speedrunning has been around for 25 years, so the fact that this is only a couple years ago that this was discovered. This is a 0 press.
There we go.
Being able to press switches from a little further away than normal. Nicely done. And we got a bit of time, well, maybe a bit more time for a donation here, so Iggy, hit us with one.
Hey, fantastic. Sponge219 sends us $75. He says, give me those sweet Jimmy middies. You got them, dude.
Awesome.
And we have Pavera with a $75 donation. No comment, but thank you so much for your generosity.
All right, Dime dropping a safety save because of this Baron of Hell here. Did manage to get around him. It's very easy to get blocked by him, and if you do, all those other enemies move into position to block. It can be a real big problem. This Lost Soul, also a problem. We need him out of the way because at the end of this map, there's a Kako Demon who we do not want to block us in too much. He will almost always block us, but that was actually really well done.
Good. Yeah, that was really quick. So here we've got something, a little bit of a hub map where normally you'd go down each of these 3 paths and get a key at the end of each of them. But in this case, we're actually going to do a pretty interesting trick, and we'll let Mythical explain this since he knows a little better than I do.
Yeah, there are 3 colored bars, and we need to get a key from each path to let them all down. Instead, we're going to take this path because it puts us in a high place, and we're going to jump over them all. But first, this Crusher section is absolutely perilous. Gets the kill on the Spectre with the rocket. It's a 7 out of 8 chance that you do enough damage to take him out. So that was just a little bit of good luck, maybe just avoiding bad luck is the better way to think about it. Setting up for this trick now to jump over the bars. This is, you can think of this kind of like Sonic charging up a spin dash here. I think he's got it, so 1.5 seconds about, and he's over. Oh, but he goes too far. He's gonna have to walk that one back and do it again. But that gives us time to talk a little bit about how it works. There's a very small movement vector that gets rounded down to a 0, and then the game doesn't handle the 0 very well. You're against a wall, you're not against a wall, and that's what lets you build up speed against the wall in this way. Not quite there. There's a lot of movement techniques and tricks and quirks to the Doom engine that have been discovered over a long period of time. Yeah, put the hands together.
As we know from a lot of previous Doom speedruns, walls are a suggestion. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they make you go a lot faster, and sometimes you go right through them.
We got a very tough level coming up here. We're going to try to clear out some enemies. And we need to keep our health as high as possible. So we're going to get this secret health. Wow.
10%.
Wow. Thanks. That'll help us against these 2 cyber demons on either side of us who will basically one-shot Dime if they hit directly. That's why Dime's going to be careful to make sure he's not standing somewhere where he doesn't want a rocket to be in a little bit. Getting that Cacodemon out of the way. We got time for 1 donation.
Sounds great. $25 comes us courtesy from Gigglesticks. Says, love me some AGDQ. Thanks to all the runners and staff for another great year. Thank you.
All right, Secret Rocket brings down another box of rockets. Also opens line of sight to the Cyber Demon, so you do want to be quick as soon as you pick that up. In this room, there is a trick available where you make use of the fact that one action cannot happen while another is happening. But we're not going to do that because we want to take a different exit out of here that picks up a blue Mega Armor. And Mega Armor is super good, not just for giving you 200 armor, but it also gives you 50% damage reduction. So as opposed to 33 that you would get from other armor sources. So basically it's super good, and we need it because Dime is coming up on a really long stretch, this sort of red gauntlet filled with enemies. We need a key at the end of it. So here's us going around to grab this Mega Armor. And as Dime makes his way through just a couple of boring ground buildings and through this gauntlet, we got time for a couple donations.
Thanks, Mythical. $25 comes to us from Admiral Flapjack. It says, hello to KingDime from the GDQ practice room. Thank you for your words of advice to the missed speedruns yesterday. We're all glad to have met you. Now, dispatch the forces of hell. Rip and tear.
No problem, Admiral. It was great to meet you, too. Don't want that weapon out. Wrong weapon.
Just kind of a shooting gallery here as the enemies come down. If you were really low on health, which is very easy to happen in Sigil, that Berserk Pack will kick you back up to 100, but here is that gauntlet. We're trying to stay vaguely to the left. That's kind of generally more open due to the way the monsters are kind of moving as you approach, but look how easy it is to get blocked in. The Lost Souls will come at you from behind as well. You can see if Dime had no armor, he would have 4 health at that point, I think, so Mega Armor really doing its job. Here, Baron of Hell, close quarters, guarding the yellow key. Oh, okay, he's alive, but he's not out of this room yet. Okay, now across the lava. Hiding behind a tree a little bit here. Nice, okay.
Definitely a little bit low on health here.
Absolutely. This section coming up, baiting out an attack by the Pinky, then putting distance to land that rocket. This section here, it is very easy to take a little bit of splash damage from your rockets, so 22 health is not where Dime wants to be here. 16 and down to 10 now. This is doable, though. There are some shotgunners who can absolutely pick Dime off at this point, but I think he can do it. Stepping on a trigger on the floor there that lets opens up a path back where we just were at the top of the lift, and actually took no damage through that section. And the shotgunner missed. Here. Nice. Just a little bit of a good RNG there. There is a lot of RNG in Doom. Dancing around the outside of the enemies there. Nicely done. And here we have a very dark map. We're going to pick up some secret cells in the dark here. We got time for 1 very quick donation.
Sure thing. $150 from Booney92 says, greetings from Australia. Good luck to all the runners.
All right, that was perfect. As Dime just opens a BFG secret here, something to put those 100 cells to use. You've probably noticed Dime's been kind of creeping around that green armor. Unfortunately, I think he maybe got a little bit too close to it. He's trying to avoid spawning a bunch of Barons of Hell, but here they are in his way now. He manages to get past them, but they're kind of going to be back there, maybe causing trouble. We got a weird series of events here. You shoot that sort of empty space to bring this down, pick up the cells, and he didn't quite have enough time to get back to the elevator. So the good news is we don't have to deal with those Barons. The bad news is we've lost our chance to execute a trick where we jump over a wall. It saves just a very minor amount of time, but you don't really have anything better to do while you wait for these timed elements. So why not at least try to go for it? Here's that wall slowly coming down here now. Enemies might block us, but nice job getting into the teleporter. Moving on to, I think, probably my favorite part of the whole run here. This castle, the fortress of the Cyber Demon. You can hear him clomping around in there somewhere. Dime doesn't know exactly where he is. It will be a bit of a surprise sometimes when he just decides to pop up and shoot you off the top of the castle ramparts here, especially because you're extremely vulnerable coming out of a teleporter. Not only are you blind from the green flash, but also you literally can't move. Oh, that was the splash damage from the Cyber Demon. All right, so nice backup with the Berserk pack, but unfortunately we do have to run this gauntlet again. Oh, you saw the Cyber Demon light up a little bit there. Oh, and please, oh.
He's trying to kick me out of his house.
This is just...
You didn't ask to come in.
Yeah, that's right. You just shot things with a plasma gun instead. Maybe just try being polite. We'll see how it goes this time. That's just Doom is a very random game, like I said. But wow!
He is not happy today.
Very random game. It is, you know, obviously speedrunners are always constantly frustrated with randomness in their speedruns. It kind of, you know, gets in the way. I did everything perfect, but I still failed. But when it comes to Doom, there's usually something you can do about it. Now, a rocket that finds you while you're helpless out of the teleporter is one thing, but the random movement of enemies usually means that there's some other path you can take through a level, and so it keeps it like really fresh. No run of Doom is ever the same as the one before, so it gives it a lot of replay value, which is very valuable to speedrunners. All right, we're through this time.
There we go.
We're pretty good on health. We had the option to pick up a secret soul sphere at the start of the map here, but 172 is good enough for Dime. He's going to be shooting through here and just kind of tearing down this bit of the wall here. As we pick up the red key and head to the red key door, we do have time for at least one more donation.
Fantastic. Unknown AZN sends us $50. Their comment says, awesome event. Always awesome to see gamers unite to help those in need. Thank you so much.
Climbing up the gray cliffs up to the red key door, sneaking around a little bit. It is possible to fall off here. It happened just once in practice, but I think Dime was a little more careful there ever since that happened. Plasma gun taking care of things in close quarters, as it does. And we got a section now coming up where not being able to trigger an action while something is moving still. Right here, you can see he paused there waiting for this to go up. He can't hit the switch to bring it back down until it's done, and he wants to spend as little time in that room as possible. A lot of things flood in. We don't want to have to spend the time, energy, ammo, resources fighting all that stuff. So really good movement through a very tough stage. 144 health is fantastic at this point.
Yeah,
going through
no issue getting through pretty much anything here.
Down to 72 all of a sudden because of a room full of shotgunners. All right, we are coming up on a very, very involved trick here. See, as you step through these doorways, you get teleported somewhere else. The next one takes a long time. We don't want to have to deal with it. So Dime is using a series of visual cues and precise, consistent movements. He's coming backwards with a lot of speed. He gets it. Moving on to a sort of very treacherous section. There's two main challenges in Sigil, the low resources, particularly health, and also just the environment. There's a lot of just tricky places to navigate, and to help get through this section, as well as to avoid a glitch in some of the movement physics, which he does avoid. He lines up that nice little strafe run through that section, a strafe run over the gap to get the yellow key. BFG on the Kaku Demons does connect. 36 health, you'd think it would be low, but it's actually on the high end for what's normally here at the end of this very difficult map, but it's not done yet. The Bruiser Bros are here behind the door. That is so mean, but not a problem for Dime.
So satisfying watching them both just melt when you open the door, though.
Yeah, for sure. We are on the final map. I am warning you guys now, there is a very abrupt end to this run. We're using the BFG here to take out these Lost Souls because they're going to be blocking us as we try to do the final jump to end the run here. It's a really big skip. There's a boss fight against a Cyber Demon and a Spider Mastermind, and ideally, we're not going to see any of it. Dime's going to get up onto the staircase here, clear out these enemies, get into position, and we'll see if he makes this jump. Oh, not quite. This has been a bit of trouble lately in practice. So now, not only do you need to do this jump again, but more enemies have had time to move into position. So it starts to get a pretty hairy situation here. Try number 2.
Looks good.
Oh, that's it. Hey, why don't we quick take a peek here? The man behind the curtain. What's this zombie man doing here? What's up with that? All right, he's dead. Final boss defeated. There's the end of the run. Put your hands together for Dime, everybody.
Time.
It's just shaky through that whole run. Sigil can get really hairy, especially through maps 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it's one of the shorter runs, but you said, like, I'm more nervous about this one than any of the other Doom runs.
Yeah, for sure. Romero totally stepped it up with the difficulty. He wanted to make it more difficult than Die Flesh Consumed because it's like an unofficial sequel to episode 4. Also, shout outs to Christopher Lavelle, who this has like the cover art and the art in Sigil. And there's a really creepy, sinister picture here coming up.
With less than sinister music currently.
I don't know. Is this more or less sinister than the original?
Oh, it's getting creepy.
That shows up for this.
Look at this thing.
Doom one.
Oh, it's glorious. Well, that's going to do it. It's pretty awesome that, the man behind Doom put out more Doom in 2019 for us to play. We're super thankful that John Romero did that, and it might be really cool if he was to do another one, maybe with like the Doom 2 monsters and Sigil 2, and we'd play it, enjoy it, and probably speedrun it a lot.
I would play it.
For sure. Well, thank you everyone and GDQ for letting me do another Doom run, and shout outs to Mythical 9 and Matty Ice with their fantastic commentary, Iggy as the host, and the lovely audience tonight. And next up we have a awesome kind of new school / retro FPS by the New Bloods called A Medieval, so stick around.
Thank you so much, Dime, for that incredible Doom Sigil run. Before you go, I have a $20 donation from Gravis Lizard. He says, that's one Doom Space Marine. Thank you so much, Gravis Lizard. That's right. Hail to the KingDime, baby. And we also have $25 from Shyco10. He says, the blessings of the Doom and Audio with you, Dime. That's a fantastic run. You got a lot of love.